Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. So today we will be talking about Webpack, and we have really special guest today. So it is really good friend of mine. So let's welcome Nitin.
Hi
Yeah,
Bhushan.
Nitin. Yeah,
Hi,
hi.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine as well.
Yeah, कैसे चल रहा है बाकी?
सब अच्छा चल रहा है अभी एक बग फिक्स
I
करके
think
आया
we
हूँ.
should talk in Hindi only, English only. So
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. Okay. So
okay.
how is going on there?
Everything's fine. I was just fixing a bug.
Aha. Okay,
Yes.
fixing a bug related to what?
It was a bug in Webpack dev server. So an option was not working as was it supposed to be. So
Okay, okay. So guys, Nitin is a maintainer of Webpack and ESLint. So he's also recently he got sponsored by GitHub. So GitHub only sponsored, I believe, 10 people, right, Nitin?
15, 15,
15 people.
15.
15. Okay, so 15 people and so he's one of them. So he's really special guy. So and yeah, so what is your like what we are going to do today? So.
So today I will be giving a general introduction about Webpack. What is Webpack and why should you use it? And
Uh-huh.
then we will learn a few concepts about Webpack, like how can you use it in your React application or any other libraries.
Right.
And then I will be giving advice on that how can you contribute to Webpack.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there are actually four repositories, or you can say projects,
Mm-hmm.
which Webpack depends on. So first is Webpack itself, then we have a Webpack CLI.
Mm-hmm.
So you can communicate through to Webpack through CLI with Webpack CLI. And then we have a development server, which is Webpack dev server.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the official documentation website, which is webpack.js.org. So I actually currently maintain Webpack CLI, Webpack dev server, and the official documentation, along with all official loaders and plugins of Webpack.
Oh, official loaders and plugins as well.
Yes.
And also you are maintaining ESLint, right?
Yes, I also help with the development and maintenance of ESLint.
Uh, okay, so so as I know that you are quite young and so when do you started actually? So doing all the open source contributions and everything.
So actually, I started open source when I was in third semester of
Ah.
my college. Yes. So I came to know across a person through a seminar held in my college by seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And first I started my open source journey with a Focesia organization. I was contributing to an event a project, which is a ticket ticketing website, event management website. You can create your events and like Eventbrite. So I initially I participated in a competition called Heat, organized by Focesia every year. So I was a finalist winner of Code Heat. Then I was planning to participate in Google Summer of Code in 2020, but unfortunately, Focesia did not participate in Google Summer of Code 2020. So I had to choose another organization. So there were many projects, and I found Webpack there. So I started contributing to Webpack so that I can participate in Google Summer of Code under Webpack. So that's how my journey started with Webpack uh, in 2020.
Yeah, right. And how from how many years you are contributing? Like from
I
2020, 2 years, right?
think
2 or 3 years.
around 2 years.
Uh-huh. So okay, so when you how you became the maintainer? So like uh,
So I
what?
started with normal contributions like fixing documentations and typo fix and all that stuff. Then uh, I was selected as a student under Google Summer of Code. So I spent a lot of time fixing bugs and implementing features in Webpack CLI. So my project was improving Webpack CLI. I worked on Webpack CLI version 4, and after GSOC was completed, I had like 100 or 120 pull requests merged. So I had a pretty much idea of code base around Webpack CLI. So I was maintainer. I became maintainer after completing GSOC. Okay, I was given the right access to the repository. Then I expanded my contribution with uh, two other repositories as well, like Webpack itself and the official documentation website. And then in 2021, I started maintaining Webpack dev server. So actually, we are only 4 or 5 active maintainers in Webpack, and maintaining many projects is very difficult. So if we are working on Webpack CLI, it is difficult for other maintainers to handle Webpack dev server. So first we worked on Webpack CLI, get the Webpack 4. Webpack actually Webpack 5 was set to release in 2020. So we have to make the Webpack CLI compatible for both the versions of Webpack, Webpack 4 and Webpack 5. So our priority was with Webpack CLI. So first we released Webpack CLI 4, then we moved to Webpack Dev Server version 4, which we released a few months back.
Okay, that's actually quite interesting. So I can imagine like you were doing, you were in the third year, and then you were doing all these contributions. Like how you got to know about open source? Because to be honest, I'll be honest. So I completed my engineering, and then after that 1 year as well, after spending 1 year in the industry, then also I didn't know that about open source. So so yeah.
Actually, in my college, I attended many seminars. So there were like these opens about open source. I came to know first about open source there through my seniors, and then I watched a few videos. I came to know about Google Summer of Code. So I searched more about that. So that's how I came across to know open source.
I think you were quite lucky, so lucky to have all this meetings and all
Yes.
this stuff. But honestly, I didn't had those chances. Okay, so yeah, let's move to the next thing, right? So, like how we are going to proceed with the things you are going to explain or teach me.
So have you used Webpack before?
In many of the projects we use Webpack only, but to be honest, I have configured Webpack in only 1 or 2 projects where I had to actually configure it. Other than that, when we use React, Vue, all this stuff, so that Next, so all this stuff is already configured. So when we have explicitly we want to do something else or something specific, then we configure the Webpack. Otherwise, it is already configured.
Yes.
So you can see you can think like I'm a beginner in this case, and you can just tell me everything you want to know, and you want me to know. So you can tell me anything. Yeah.
So I'll start with a general introduction of Webpack, and then uh, basic configuration, how to set up Webpack with a basic configuration, and we will discuss about basic concepts like entry, output, loaders, and
Okay.
plugins.
Cool. So let's jump into the presentation. So I think you should be able to share the screen right now. Yeah.
Yes. So
Uh, Let me share your screen. And yes, we are live. Yeah.
so uh, so can you see this article?
Yes, exactly. I can see that. Yeah.
Uh, so I wrote this article yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I created a presentation first, but then I thought I can put up it in a blog post. So I just wrote an article. So
Mm-hmm.
let's start with what is Webpack and what it does. So Webpack is actually a module bundler. So
Mm-hmm.
it actually bundles your JavaScript files into one single bundle, which you can include in your HTML. So like back ja- when back in time when I was started web development, we used to create an index.html file, and
Mm-hmm.
then we include a JavaScript file with the script tags.
Right.
But nowadays applications are much more complex, and we have many JavaScript files. Like if you want to use Lodash, you will have a separate script tag for Lodash, a separate script tag for jQuery, and
Mm-hmm.
a separate script tag for your own JavaScript. So it
Right.
is it's not much scalable. So that's where Webpack comes into play. So Webpack is actually a static module bundler. So its main purpose is to bundle JavaScript files, but it can also bundle static assets like images, your CSS files, SCSS files, or any other resources. So as you can see, JS, HBS, CJS, PNG,
Mm-hmm.
JPG, it can bundle into in a single JS file, a single CSS file,
Okay,
static
so
assets.
basically, so in short, basically what Webpack is doing is we have a lot of files, JavaScript files, and then
Yes,
Webpack is managing it in a such a way that it is bundled into one single JavaScript file, something like.
yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay, 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 clear.
So when Webpack processes your application,
Hmm.
it builds a dependency graph. So what is a dependency graph? It's actually like you have uh, uh, app.js file in which you have imported another app.
Hmm.
So it will consider every import as a dependency.
Every import has a dependency. Okay.
Yes. So it will start. We will give Webpack an entry point to start reading our application. Say, let's say it's app.js.
Hmm.
So it will start reading the code from app.js. Then if we have imported another file, let's say main.js,
Hmm.
so it will add it to its dependency graph and read main.js. And then
Hmm.
again, just like npm does, if you have seen package log.json,
Hmm.
so npm also uses similar kind of logic for dependencies.
Hmm. So
So some
npm actually creates one object where it has
yes,
the version it is using, what time it was used, some hashes, all this
yes,
stuff.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Webpack is also doing same thing.
Yes, it's reading the same. It's reading JavaScript file in the same way.
Okay. And where like the package.json is compiled, like so whenever we do npm install or update,
Yes.
so that log file is generated. So Webpack also has some file like that.
Yes. Webpack has a configuration file. Configuration file. By
Hmm.
default, we it is a webpack.config.js.
Right.
But we can name any configuration like index.js. We can configure it and pass it to Webpack.
Yeah, but if I please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I want to use different name, then I have to pass that hyphen config flag, right? So hyphen
Yes, yes.
config and
You
then
have to
file.
pass it. Yes. You have
Okay,
to specify it via config flag.
right. Okay.
So why should you use Webpack? Like I said earlier, it was very easy to just import through one single script tag.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different today. We have so many JavaScript files.
To be honest,
Like
I want to point one thing here. So I can imagine like 5, 6, 7 years back where we were using jQuery, and there was one script tag where we are including jQuery, and then we have thousands of lines of code which is doing like event handling and all this stuff. So it was really long files and long script tags. Yeah, I can imagine that. And I think to solve these kind of problems, only Webpack was introduced, right?
yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you can see in this diagram that we have an index.js, a
Mm-hmm.
util.js, and a loaders dependency. So
Mm-hmm.
both Webpack will provide these all these files will go through Webpack and create a single bundle.js file,
Mm-hmm.
which we can directly include in script tag. And all of these three dependencies
Mm-hmm.
will be included in our HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basic functionality of Webpack.
But does it mean like, let's suppose I have two three JavaScript files, and the total is 2 3 MB. So that bundle.js will have all these files and dependencies. So
Yes.
it will be really large file, right?
Yes, but we can optimize. We can. We have very many options to optimize our bundle. Like we can split into many chunks, many
Thanks.
different
Yeah.
chunks, and advanced configuration. So we will dive deep in that later.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sounds good.
yes. So basically, it creates a bundle.js
Mm-hmm.
which we can include. Uh, okay. So this was one thing. Another thing that Webpack can do is using loaders.
Mm-hmm.
What are loaders? Actually, loaders are used to actually bundlers like Webpack. Uh, Bundles like Webpack are used for JavaScript files only. Their main purpose is to bundle JavaScript files only. But through loaders, we can communicate with Webpack and tell them how to treat other files like CSS files, images, and other files. So it becomes very easy to handle assets with Webpack through loaders.
Okay. So by default, Webpack understands only JavaScript files, but with
Yes,
loaders, we can teach Webpack how to handle the different types of files, right?
yes.
Got. Okay. Okay. Clear.
Okay, so for example, we have a Babel loader. So Babel is actually another tool which is actually basically a transpiler which transpile ES6 code to ES5 or any other lower JavaScript version, so that browser can understand. Like some browsers do not understand latest ES6 code, like import statements and other stuff.
Yeah. Right. Like classes and all this stuff. So
Yes,
it is not.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So Babel actually, like for example, Internet Explorer 11, it only understands up to ES5. So we can actually use Babel loader. What will Babel will do? Convert all these files to ES5, and then the bundle.js will be in ES5. We will write normal ES6, but Babel will automatically convert it to ES5.
Okay.
ES5 code, yes. So this was loader, and like you said, today users have high expectation from web. Everyone hates slow apps. So Webpack comes with Uglify and Minify. These are actually plugins, Uglify and Minify. These actually uh, reduces the bundle size. It's their main purpose is to reduce the bundle size.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they can minify your JavaScript, remove unnecessary code. I'll show you in some time how this is done.
Okay,
How
Nitin, I just have one small question. So you
yes,
talked about loaders and plugins, right? So
yes,
how we distinguish like what is the responsibility of loader and what is the responsibility of plugin? So
yes.
what is
So
that?
loader handles with the type of files like images. It will handle asset handling mainly.
Uh-huh.
And plugins, plugin we use plugin to handle runtime code, runtime logic. We can manipulate runtime logic with plugins, and we handle assets with loaders.
Okay. So in short, whenever I have to code or tackle some different file type, then I will
Yes,
be going for loaders. And if I want to do some runtime operation, then I will go for plugins.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'll let me explain it a bit more.
Uh,
So, like for example, you have a index.js and app.css and loadash and Babel loader. Now, Webpack does not understand app.css file because it only understands JavaScript files. So we have to add a CSS loader.
right.
So we have created a CSS loader which handles the CSS files
Mm-hmm.
and then it will create a bundle.js.
Okay.
So the bundle.js will include the CSS code in itself.
Mm-hmm. So
So
that so you are saying that CSS code will be inside JS file.
yes, I can show you actually. For example, we have this Webpack configuration. This is
Nitin,
too much.
can you increase the font size so that viewers can see it properly?
Okay, how do we do that settings? I think font size.
At top, you can search font size.
Okay, this is too
Uh,
much.
Maybe 18.
It's-
I think still it is unclear. Okay, now it is clear. Now it is clear. I can see it.
Okay, so
Hmm.
this is a simple Webpack configuration.
Okay,
We
so
have an entry. So
hmm.
let's talk about the directory structure first.
Uh,
So we have a package.json, like any another npm node project.
mm-hmm.
Then we have a source folder which has index.js and app.css,
Hmm.
and we have imported app.css here.
Okay.
So now and we have an index.html file.
Hmm.
So we created an webpack.config.js to include this JavaScript and CSS code in our
Hmm.
HTML. Okay.
Okay.
So right now you can see that HTML is simple. Webpack app, hello world.
Right.
We have not linked any JavaScript file here or CSS file.
Right.
So we will create a Webpack configuration. We will name it webpack.config.js. It is actually default configuration, webpack.config.js.
Hmm. So this
So
is default, right? So you mean.
yes, it will automate. Webpack will automatically look for this file
Hmm.
and use it as a configuration. So we will not have to specify it specifically,
Okay.
mention it
Hmm.
specifically. So we define it as this. So they we export an object with the following properties. For example, we have an entry. Entry point is the point Webpack will starts reading our app. So we have it as index.js. So Webpack will start reading our code from this file, and then we have an output. Output will be output. We have two object, two properties here, path and file name. So I have defined output part as dist. So all our code will be in bundled inside dist. So if I delete it, let's delete it and run Webpack, and let's see what happens. So to run Webpack, we have to create a script. Like we can create a build script, Webpack mode production or dev. Let's just use Webpack for now.
Mode.
So we use Webpack.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I
can
have
also
one small question.
yes.
So previously we were having the capital NODE underscore ENV, and then if we said that node ENV to production, then Webpack was doing all the production build, right? But now
Yes.
as I see that here we have hyphen hyphen node. So is it new thing which is added or
Node envy this.
no
Yes.
the before that? So there is hyphen hyphen mode and then you have
Not
production and development.
uh this.
No, in the package.json, you go in the package.json. Yeah.
Yes, which line?
And at the line number 9,
9. Yes.
yeah, you see that hyphen hyphen MODE mode is equal to
Yes.
development. So what is that actually?
Uh, let me show you. You will understand better if I show you first.
Okay, yeah.
So okay, Webpack comes. Mode is another option in config like entry and output. If we define it,
Mhm.
so there are two ways to define an option in Webpack config. Either we can define it directly in config like this mode production,
Mhm.
or we can pass it via CLI flags like -hyphen mode. So we have a CLI option for every option that we can pass in config, except some which are not CLI friendly like plugins. You cannot pass this complex through CLI. So so if I run npm run dev run build, so it will create a see here in the directory, it will create an output folder for us. So the webpack did its job, and like you can see in the output, we have three outputs: bundle.js, index.html, and main.css. Can you see it in the terminal?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yes. So these are the stats logged by Webpack. We can actually see it that a dist folder is created, and there are three files in it: bundle.js. So this is how a Webpack bundle looks like. So if you can see that here is it, this app.css file,
Hmm.
and some other many code. So this code is actually used by Webpack related code.
Uh,
All of this is
Nitin,
actually
sorry to
related.
interrupt. Could you change the theme to light theme? Any other theme? Because it is barely visible, so people, I think, cannot see properly. Color theme, maybe.
Now where do we have themes? Thing this.
Something light. Yeah, so that way. Okay, much better, much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where was the bundle? So this is a bundle. So
Hmm.
this is a bundle of development mode.
Right.
So like in production, we want our files to be very minified and fast.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually use the production build. For example, uh, if I run the production like mode production, so
Hmm.
let's see what happens.
Okay.
Build prod. So now you see bundle.js is just this.
Oh, and what happened to that other code?
The file was rewritten, overwritten by the next build.
No, no. So previously in the development mode, it had a lot of code, and in the production,
If you see, it's actually in comments. So actually, these are
some.
for Webpack to understand,
Uh-huh.
and these are module variables which we
Hmm.
can overwrite or we can use to detect many things. When we create plugins and loaders, we use these variables and API methods.
Okay.
So as you write more code, as you write more plugins, you include more loaders and plugins, this bundle will increase in development.
Okay.
Yes. So if you can see, even here, like we have this hello world, so
Hmm.
it will be in bundle.js. If we search for it, so like yeah, here it is console.log bundle.js hello world. This
Hmm.
code is here, but
Hmm.
it is a lot of extra code here as well. So we don't want all of this code in production, so we pass hyphen mode production, and
Hmm.
so this will be the code,
Right.
minified code for production. Okay.
Okay.
So this was entry and output and mode. So actually CLI flags have more priority than the option defined in configuration.
Okay.
So if I run the dev npm run build dev,
Hmm.
even if I have mode production, but I have passed development from CLI, so it will be
Right.
creating a development build. You see?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yes. So CLI options have more priority over
Yeah,
configuration
that
options.
that is interesting. Actually, I was just going to ask you that on line 20 you have more production, and then how it
Yes.
had all of that code. So yeah, it is good to know. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so entry, output, and mode. Now we can take a look at plugins.
Mm-hmm.
So let's actually first talk about loaders before plugins. So let's
Okay.
just disable this plugin. We have
Mm-hmm.
mini CSS extract plugin, and let's use CSS loader. So like you see, we have one other another option we have is output for is clean. If we uh, mention clean true,
Mm-hmm.
it will automatically remove the files in next bundles which were not used. For example, if I run now npm run build,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the main.css file is no longer here.
Yeah, right.
Yes, so actually we disabled mini css extract plugin.
Mm-hmm.
So so that css file was responsible because of this. This was responsible for creating that css file.
Mm-hmm.
So what is happening right now is like if we do not mention a loader, what will happen? Let's see.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
we have not mentioned a loader, and now we have index.js and import app.css. So
Okay.
let's try building this now, and let's see what happens. So there is an error. See,
Right.
error in source app.css, unexpected token.
All right.
So the error message is very helpful that you can see you may need an appropriate loader to handle this type of
Right.
file. No loaders are configured, and here is a documentation link which we can refer
Refer.
for loaders. So actually there are many loaders. Some are official and some are
Not. Yeah.
some are written by community.
Mm-hmm.
So like these are all the loaders.
So whatever is mentioned in the Webpack website, so those are
Yes,
official ones, right?
yes, and we have an awesome webpack page, awesome webpack which is a community loaders, and
Ah.
and all the plugins and which community are creating for webpack. Like you can see here,
Okay.
so many stuff.
Right.
Yes, and articles and books.
I also saw
So
there are some video links as well, right?
yes, yes, yes. So like we can add this live stream link as well here.
Yeah, maybe you can share with me, and I will just add it into the chat.
Yes. Okay.
I think you should not do these but but anyways, yeah.
So where were we? So we can see that now we don't have a loader, so we are coming up with an error
Okay.
because Webpack does not know what is app.css,
Hmm.
how to parse it. So
Right.
now we have to mention a loader.
Hmm.
For mentioning loaders, we have to mention it in module.rules.
Hmm.
So we have an module object.
Hmm.
Modules. What is module? Modules is reusable code. Like
Hmm.
we created index.js where we can import it anywhere in our code.
Hmm.
So Webpack will treat each file as a module.
Okay.
And then we have rules. For example, we have this test and use. Test is actually a regular expression to
Hmm.
identify the files. For example, this regular expression will identify all the files with .css.
Yeah, ending with .css. Okay.
Yes, ending with .css
Hmm.
extension.
Hmm.
So and now we have mentioned for these files you
Hmm.
have to use the css loader.
Okay.
So now uh, of course you have to install it css loader separately, like npm install css loader. I've
Uh,
already done that
I
here.
actually I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
Okay.
css loader
Hmm.
does not come out of box
Uh-huh.
with webpack, so you have to install it separately
Hmm.
by npm install css loader,
Hmm.
and then you can directly use it without importing it here. uh, so you mentioned use css loader, and
Hmm.
now if we build again,
Hmm.
so you can see the error is gone.
Right.
And we have again to have two files, bundle.js and index.html.
Yeah, but because that clean is too right, that's why it is not there.
Yes, because right now we haven't told Webpack to create a separate CSS file.
Okay. So,
Yes,
so that means it is in the JS file.
yes. I can show you. Let's like we can search for body.
Okay.
So here it is like body margin zero, padding zero. You can see.
Okay.
So yes, it is right now inside the bundle.js.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a production build, and you can see this is the production build. So here it is, body margin padding,
Right.
and here, okay, where it is, hello world console.log hello world.
Right.
So the code is minified in production build, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a loader. How similarly we have different loaders for different files.
Okay, but I have one question. So that CSS is gone into the JS file, right? So will
Yes,
it apply directly or like there we have to do something?
no, it will be automatically used.
So if I just include that script tag into the index.html,
Yes, you can see. Let me show you. I can show that. Actually, let's create a development build so it's more readable. You can see here the index.html have a script on source bundle.js.
right?
Let's open this in browser.
Hmm.
So where is she? So we, like I opened it, so you can see the margin and padding are zero. Now let's change CSS.
Yeah. Let's type a red color, red or green, whatever. But just like add a
Yes,
background color to red.
color red or background color red.
Background color red. So background hyphen color.
Oh yes.
Background spelling is wrong. So can you please fix it? Okay.
Let's build again.
Hmm.
We have to build again. Yes. So let's build again, and now you can see.
Hmm.
Mhm. Something's wrong.
Yeah, the background red is there, right? Background color red.
Yes, it should. Mm,
Now I think what you have to do is you have to include a style loader for that.
yes,
Then
I have to include style loader.
yeah. So the CSS loader is only
Yes.
understanding like how to tackle with CSS file. If you add style loader, then it will apply on the HTML file pages.
Okay. Yes. So let's npm install style loader.
Hmm.
So here it is.
Right. And in the Webpack config,
Yeah. We
yeah.
can directly mention. So first we have to mention style loader, I think.
Right. So there is also one thing. So it when we have array, so it is going from last one and then the next and then second last and then third last, like this, right?
Yes. Yes.
So first it will go and check CSS loader. It will work
Yes.
on that, and then that worked output will be processed by style loader. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Clear.
So let's build again,
Hmm.
and now let's see.
Hmm.
So here is
Yeah.
background.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes. So so this is how loader works. So we can use for, you can we can create a different loader for different files.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Let Yes. So let's now talk about plugins.
Hmm.
So you can see we have here HTML Webpack plugin.
Hmm.
So this plugin creates an HTML file
Hmm.
which includes the JavaScript bundle and the CSS file if we have any. It will link it to it, and we can then render it in our browser. For
Okay.
example, yes. So actually, JavaScript's main purpose, oh, Webpack's main purpose is to bundle only JavaScript file. It has
Hmm.
nothing to do with HTML.
Right.
Yes. So we have mentioned, we have defined a new web plugin, HTML Webpack plugin,
Hmm.
and we can use it to create HTML files.
Okay,
So
so this plugin is on what it is doing is we have index.html file, and whenever it
yes,
is compiled, so it will add script tag and style tag if needed.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
great. Okay, clear, understood. Yeah.
So how we have to install it different separately, npm install HTML Webpack plugin,
Hmm.
and then we have to import it in our configuration by an import statement or require statement.
Hmm.
So I have imported it here as const HTML Webpack plugin require HTML Webpack plugin.
Hmm.
Then we have this plugins option, which
Hmm.
is an array of plugins. So all the plugins we want to add will go inside this array.
Hmm.
So for first we have this plugin, HTML Webpack plugin, and we have defined a template index.html. Like we have this index.html file. It will use this as its base template. It will
Hmm.
add a script tag and styles here to this template. So
This is really nice, right?
that's how.
So that Webpack is doing all this stuff. Just
Yes,
we just have to do configure things one time, and then Webpack will take this thing and it will handle automatically.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice.
So we can add more plugins.
Hmm.
So here is a documentation for plugins, and this is how we define plugins. So many plugins come out of box with Webpack, and some plugins are external.
Hmm.
So like this HTML Webpack plugin is an external plugin.
Okay.
Another plugin which is very useful is mini CSS extract plugin. So what this does is
Okay.
actually, right, like you can see that all the CSS is inside our bundle.js right now. If
You're
we
right.
specify mini extract CSS plugin, it
Hmm.
will extract the CSS into a separate CSS file. For example, we first install with npm install,
Hmm.
then we have required, and then we have in plugin we will add as another plugin, new mini CSS extract plugin,
Okay.
and we will have to update the rules for CSS files now.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so we have this CSS loader, and now we will have styles handle from mini CSS plugin, mini CSS extract plugin dot loader. It will handle the styles.
Okay. So can you scroll up? Can you scroll up? Okay. So line number 5, we are importing it, and on line number 10, we are just getting the loader and storing it as a variable.
Yes, so the just like style loader,
Hmm.
it will be styles handler. So we will be using style handler instead of style loader now,
Hmm.
and CSS loader.
Hmm.
Now let's save and build again. So now you can see there is main.css. So it
Hmm.
extracted all the CSS into separate file, and if we see the index.html, we have a script tag
Oh,
for bundle.js and a link tag for main.css.
oh, that is nice. So like we don't have to do anything, right? So
Yes,
Webpack is adding all those tags automatically. And if
yes.
what if like I have index.html and I have some different code, so it doesn't matter, right?
No, it will not matter. You can configure everything from here. Like HTML, if you read HTML Webpack plugin documentation, there will be many more options just than template. You can use those, and
Uh,
you can also uh, change the output name from bundle.js to any other file. It will
mhm.
use those files.
Okay.
Because yes, because plugin is actually plugin logic happens actually at runtime.
Mm-hmm.
So it will have access to every variable which Webpack have.
Okay, so let's do one thing. So can you change the bundle name? So instead of bundle,
Yes,
just make it main.js or something
yes,
else.
we can do it main.js.
And then you delete that folder, this folder, and then run the product script.
Uh, Actually, we can delete it. Let's run again.
Hmm.
And now it is index.html
Right.
main.cs and main.js,
Yes.
and we have main.js source and
Cool.
main.css.
This is pretty awesome. This is pretty
Yes.
awesome. Yeah. Nice.
So where so this is our Webpack app. So
Hmm.
one issue is here is that we have to create bundle every time, and then come here and reload our app to see the changes. So this can be exhausting in case of development, like you
Okay.
have to every time run the same script. So this is where Webpack dev server comes in. We have a Webpack dev server,
Hmm.
which is a development server for Webpack. It will actually create a server and reload. It will a server with Express,
Hmm.
and your project will be live at a URL like localhost 3000 4000, the any port you specify. So
Okay.
let's integrate Webpack dev server now and see what happens.
Okay.
So first of all
I'm
we have,
excited about this because I don't know how to create that Webpack server and all this stuff. So yeah.
yes, so all we need to do is first install it first. So if we install npm install
Hmm.
Webpack dev server,
Webpack server. Okay.
it will install the Webpack dev server, and we can communicate to Webpack dev server through Webpack CLI. So earlier we have different CLI for Webpack dev server and Webpack CLI, but
Hmm.
now we have put all the logic in inside Webpack CLI itself, and we can directly use it through Webpack CLI. So we have a to use it, we have just to use a command Webpack
Hmm.
serve. Let's create a script for that. Like we create a serve script
Hmm.
with Webpack serve,
Okay.
and this will run the Webpack dev server. To run this script, we can npm run serve, है ना?
Hmm.
So you can see that project is running at localhost 8080,
Right.
and if you want a IP address, so
Yeah. In the
this,
local IP addresses, it is 14.
yes, yes. So you can see the stats here, and
Hmm.
now we just have to go to this URL.
Okay.
So we are at localhost 8080 now,
Right.
and here is our app. So
Mm-hmm.
you can see we have not to open it through that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now we can update the CSS file here, like from that.
Maybe what you do is go inside the main.js and add alert there.
Okay, sorry. Here, yes, we can
Index.js.
do that. Alert.
Yeah, let's do alert. And you already have a console log, right? So we can check console log as well.
So that I have saved the code. So you
Hmm.
can see here it is alert.
Nice.
We haven't reloaded, so it automatically came.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we can I think change the CSS as well, like from red to blue. And as soon as I save, and
Right.
you can also check it in console, like for example here it is listening to changes,
Hmm.
and if I update it to black,
Hmm.
and as soon as I hit save, check the terminal, see
Yeah, I'm checking.
another build, all these builds.
Yeah, so there were some
So
new lines added. Yeah.
yes, so this helps very much in development.
Yeah, this is nice.
So yes,
Actually,
so
there is one question which actually I have in my mind from many years. And actually, I little bit have idea how Webpack is doing that as well. But still, whenever I save, so how Webpack understands that something is changed, I need to do something. So like how it understands that.
I think Webpack, we have a hot module replacement plugin.
Huh?
We have a hot module replacement plugin. We have actually we use another dependency, Chokidar. Have you used it?
Chokidar, I have heard a lot about Chokidar, but I don't know what this.
Yes. So in Webpack Dev Server, we use Chokidar to watch for file changes.
Uh-huh.
You can see it have a web fs.watch.
Uh-huh.
So it watches for all the files, and as soon as a file is changed,
Hmm.
it reports to Webpack Dev Server, and another build is triggered.
Triggered. Ah.
Yes.
Okay, so Chokidar is used to check keep keep an eye on the files, right? For
Yes.
example.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Clear.
And and we can also configure Webpack Dev Server. Like if you see, we have this webpack.js/configuration.
Mm-hmm.
Here are all the configuration, like
Mm-hmm.
mode, output module. So if you see, there are a lot of options. Here is Dev Server.
Mm-hmm.
So Dev Server documentation is very large. It has many options.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I will show you some of the options.
Mm-hmm.
One of So we can define it by a Dev Server
Mm-hmm.
option in the configuration,
Mm-hmm.
and we can specify host and port. For example, we can specify the port it will use. By default, it uses the 8080 port, but
Mm-hmm.
we can change it to like 3000.
Okay.
And another is will be host. We can specify host, like
Mm-hmm.
local host, if we want to, like we are running locally, so local host.
Mm-hmm.
And
And maybe if the code is in the production, then I can use some domain name, right?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So I have to close the server and run it again now, so that
Mm-hmm.
it will uh, use these new options.
Okay.
So npm run serve, and now you can see the it is running on localhost 3000.
Mm-hmm.
So this is localhost
Right.
3000.
Local of 3000.
So there are many other options, like you can enable https protocol as well with https true.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be now running at https.
FTTP version. Hmm.
So by default, it will create a self signed certificate.
Okay, so that is interesting. So it is already creating the certificate as well.
Yes,
So
it will creating a self signed certificate if you don't provide one, but you
mm-hmm.
can also provide one with by mentioning it as an object, like with a key and path to CA certificate.
Okay.
By So let's just do boolean first, like https true, and as I run npm run serve,
Hmm.
you can see that it's first generating SSL certificate.
Hmm.
So it generated an SSL certificate here, node modules.k server.pem. If you want to
Right.
see, you can go there and see that. And
Right.
now the project is running at https localhost 3000. So if I go, so it is not secure advanced,
Mm-hmm.
accept the risk and continue, and see
Then
https localhost.
right. It is HTTPS.
Yes. So another option is open. If we do open true,
Hmm. What is open? Hello, Nitin.
hello,
I think I lost you there. Hello.
hello, hello.
Hello. Yeah, Nitin. Hello. Can
Uh,
you hear me?
yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I can see you as well. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. So
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
my screen?
Yeah, so I'll share the screen again. Okay, so there was
Yes,
some
yes, yes.
technical issue. Yeah.
So
Okay, now you are again sharing the screen.
okay, so where were we? So we can mention the open true,
Hmm.
and now you will be able to we it will automatically open your default browser and localhost 3000 in your default browser. Let's change the port to 5000 and see.
Hmm.
Like I will do npm run serve and it will automatically open localhost 5000.
Okay, so this is
I
the
will
option. Okay, so all the React and Vue.js frameworks is having, right? So whenever
Yes,
you serve the project, it will open the project inside the browser.
yes.
Okay.
So actually we can configure it in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can read all the documentation here like devserver.open. So the simplest way is to open true. You can also pass it via CLI by open /
Hmm.
open.
Right.
And again, if you have to disable, you can use no open. We
Mm-hmm.
have a negative flag for every boolean flag.
Mm-hmm.
And again here the CLI flags will take priority over the configuration options.
Right.
Also there are many other configuration you can do with open, like you can open a specific page. If you mention it as my page, it will open localhost my page.
Okay.
uh, yes.
So that
So
will be the first page, right? So it won't be
yes,
like from
yes,
that page to.
it will be
Okay.
first page. I can show you. So we can just open
Hmm.
my page, and if we run npm webpack sub now,
Hmm.
so it will be my page. So we haven't
Right. We don't have
created,
any page content to show. Share. Yeah.
so it cannot get. So this was also we can specify which browser it should open.
Okay. That is
So
interesting.
yes, so you can also add multiple pages, my page
Mm-hmm.
and other page, it will add multiple pages.
Okay.
And you can mention your app name from if you use google chrome, so it will open in google chrome. If you
Okay.
mention firefox, otherwise it will use your default browser.
Uh-huh.
So in my case it is firefox, so it's opening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually we use uh, an package.
Mm-hmm.
So this package we use, created by Sandre. uh, we use this, so we are using the same api,
Mm-hmm.
app app name arguments.
Okay. So are you guys using this same package or same
Yes,
package?
we are using this package as a dependency,
Uh-huh. Okay.
so that it will help open.
Right. Okay. Understood.
Yes, like I can also show that as well. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is webpack dev server.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been,
Can you share your page, GitHub page, so people can see it, right? One more time.
okay, I can.
Yeah. So
So this is my github profile.
yeah. Also, you can share. Like I will paste it. Don't share.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll open that screen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll share in the chat. Yeah.
So I'm helping with webpack and ESLint.
Uh,
So this is my GitHub profile. You can see I am
right.
regularly active.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my contributions are in webpack webpack contrib, and there's another project, open collective.
Uh-huh.
It is actually a sponsorship platform for open source projects.
Right.
And ESLint.
So it's for crowdfunding, right?
Yes, yes, people can support projects by
Right.
donating small amounts.
Right. And also like I would like to add one point here.
Yes,
So people, if you're seeing this video and if you're thinking that it is helpful, you think he's doing really good work, so you can go check out his GitHub page and
yes,
also contribute something. Yeah. It helps. Yeah, open source contribution.
yes. I have like 10 sponsors right now, which
Hmm.
are supporting me for my open source work. Here are they.
Right. I can see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
you were saying you were actually showing something, not sharing.
yes, I was sharing about Webpack as well. So you can see that I was, if I can show you the contributors,
Hmm.
like you can see the activity in. So it was created in 2013.
Ah.
You can see here. So a lot of activity happened around 2017 when Webpack became famous.
Ah. Okay.
So after that in 2019, and here you can see this period there was no contribution
Oh.
uh, from May 22.
Was
So
it not needed, or there was no contribution at all? No one was checking it.
because we were working on Webpack CLI, na?
Mm-hmm.
We were working on Webpack CLI, and we have already created a stable release for Webpack Dev Server
Uh-huh.
version 3. So it was
Mm-hmm.
not needed at the time, and we were
Okay.
more focusing to for Webpack CLI to make compatible it with Webpack 5. And then
Fine.
you
Yeah.
can see, so I started then as soon as we were finished with Webpack CLI, I started contributing to Webpack Dev Server. You can see
Mm-hmm.
my contribution increased in 2021.
Okay.
So I think I have 244 commits in
Right.
Webpack Dev Server.
This is quite good. Yeah.
So like almost 60 to 70% of features and tests. So
Okay.
I was showing that if you want to contribute to Webpack Dev Server,
Mm-hmm.
so you can simply help with documentation. Like if you find any grammar issue, you can just come to this page, and below down you will see the edit this page button. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are reading any page documentation
Mm-hmm.
and you found any issue, you can just edit this page
Mm-hmm.
and change it and create a pull request,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll accept the pull request. So that was about documentation. About
Mm-hmm.
Webpack Dev Server, we have some open issues.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, so you can contribute to any issues, like we have help wanted issues.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we want to rewrite our end-to-end test from Puppeteer to Playwright. We want to migrate on Playwright, so you can help with that too if
Okay.
anybody from the audience wants to contribute.
Yeah.
And we have this examples
So,
directory.
sorry to interrupt. What you are using? Puppeteer. What you said?
We were using Puppeteer for end-to-end text, end-to-end testing. Puppeteer is a
What is Puppeteer? I didn't heard about it.
okay. So let me show you what is Puppeteer actually. Puppeteer is actually a headless Chrome Node.js API. So it can you can use Puppeteer to manipulate Chrome. Like you can say you can create a browser and write the code browser.launch this page. You will run the script and it will open Chrome browser and that page.
Okay.
Like this, you
So
can
it's like a
describe.
snapshot test, right? Like
Yes. We use snapshot testing.
okay.
So,
Okay.
and you can do many things with the Puppeteer, like launching and creating a PDF and then closing the browser. So this will what do, it will launch the browser, it will go to this website and
Mm-hmm.
then create a PDF of the page,
Yeah.
and it will save it in A4 size. So you can do many other things, you can read all the documentation here. So we were using this Puppeteer, but actually it's uh, we have some flaky tests on CI, like you can see we have many tests. So they are conflicting with ports conflicting and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the server timeouts more
Mm-hmm.
than. So yes, so we want to migrate to an alternative to see if
And what is that alternative?
that's Playwright.
Playwright.
Playwright.dev, it is from Microsoft.
Playwright.
So yes, this is
Mm-hmm.
Playwright's reliable end-to-end testing for modern web apps.
Mm-hmm.
So we can automate. So it has similar API to Puppeteer, like you can see.
Okay, so you guys have already included this playwright into the code, or like someone has to go and include it in like using npm and then create PR and then.
Yes, you will have to include it. We have Puppeteer. You will have to remove Puppeteer and include Playwright.
Okay. Okay.
So also you can help by adding examples.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have examples for every option, like Bonjour client, compression default, and there are many more examples that can be added. So
Mm-hmm.
feel free to add one.
Right.
So the more examples we have, the more easy it is for the community to understand how we can work with this.
Right.
So
And this is
this,
actually interesting. So we have examples. So we can just
yes,
pick that example. So like, let's suppose someone like me
yes,
is
I
coming.
can.
We can just get that code and paste it into his code, and then just tinker the things, and then
Yes, I can show you,
yeah.
like, let me open Webpack dev server. So this
Uh,
is Webpack dev server.
okay.
So let's just go to the examples directory. So you can do cd examples, and now you have many examples here. So let me show you the HMR example. So
Mm-hmm.
that will be nice. So cd HMR. Now we have so we have an
Mm-hmm.
example.js. Read me how to use this example, and a configuration, Webpack configuration. So what you need to do to enable hot module replacement. What is hot module replacement? So it is actually what helps reloading the page automatically. Like I said that we can just update the code, and it will reloading the page automatically as soon as we hit save. So that was the doing of this hot module
Hot mode
replacement.
replacement. Okay.
Yes. So actually this is enabled by default. So hot is actually set to default. Even if we don't mention it in configuration, we
Uh-huh.
normalize all options, and it is enabled by default. So for example, now if we want to run this example, we can use this command, npx
Mhm.
webpack serve open and hot.
Right.
So hyphen hyphen open will open, and hot will enable hot module replacement.
Uh,
So this is the server running. So we
mm-hmm.
have this template HTML file. So now
Mm-hmm.
you can see that modify and save example.js to update this as example element without loading the page.
Reloading. Mm.
So like this example.js, I can just modify and save and reload, and I saved it, and the text changed here.
Right.
So this was when module mode hot HMR was
Mm.
enabled. If we disable it, it will not happen. Like we can pass no hot. So no hot will disable it.
Okay. So yeah, I remember that you said that whenever we have Boolean flags,
Uh,
so if we append hyphen hyphen no, then it will be disabled, right?
yes. So now it is disabled. So let's try and changing the text. Like I cut out this text,
Mm.
and it's happening. Did looks like something.
Did you stop the server first?
Let me check. Okay, okay, okay. So my bad. Actually, we have to set it to hot only if we want to stop reloading. So like hyphen hyphen hot only.
Mm.
This will not reload the app.
Okay, hot only.
Yes. So this was I changed it before. So
Mm-hmm.
like if I change it back to
Yeah.
modify and save.
Mm. Back to as it is. As
Yes.
is changing.
This was actually these are three different tabs actually, you know.
Okay, so we
So
were checking to two, three tabs. Okay,
yes.
okay.
So you
Can
got
we
my
open
point.
one? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
can we open one?
Let's not use the open. It will always open a new tab.
Mm-hmm.
So that was issue here. So like we
Mm-hmm.
do hot only,
Hmm.
and so it is not changed. We have to reload it.
Right.
For example, now I remove this and it is changed. So hot module replacement enabled. Hmm.
Is it enabled from the config or something?
No, it is not. I think we are doing something wrong here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was that flag right? Hyphen hot and then only?
Yes. Yes. So right now hot HMI is not, so it should not work now. I think bug somewhere.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
that
I am on the different branch. That's why
that is
I.
fine. That is fine. That is fine. But I understood that there is some flags.
Yes.
Actually, the idea was that only. So there is a hyphen hot flag we can provide, and then it will start hot module refreshment. And if
Yes.
we have hyphen hot and then only, then it will stop it, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we can move forward. Yeah.
Yes. Now it's working. You see,
Yeah.
like uh, right now we have this,
Huh?
and I remove this,
Hmm.
and I saved it. Okay, so it's reloading. I will see what's wrong here. I think
Yeah. Okay.
something wrong with
Okay.
the config.
That is fine. That is fine. That is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So this was how you can use Webpack Dev Server,
Mm-hmm.
and there are more multiple options you can use. So
Okay.
always you can always come to documentation and see what are the uses. For example, you if you come to this documentation tab, so these
Mm-hmm.
are concepts which you can learn more about: entry, output, loaders, plugins, mode, and more.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to learn about how to improve your configuration,
Mm-hmm.
so there are more options like mode, output, resolve, optimization, plugins, dev server. Here
Mm-hmm.
you can find all the documentation.
Yeah, but Nitin, to be honest, like whenever I came to Webpack site, so
Yes.
it has lot of information.
Yes.
So I sometimes like, okay, I will start learning Webpack and I will go to the website, and when I start is scrolling, checking the things, it's quite overwhelming. So is there any resource from where me as a beginner I can just start?
Yes, actually uh, we have a course from Sean Larkin.
Hmm?
Sean Larkin was a Webpack core team member.
Hmm?
So if you see front end masters,
Hmm?
some front end masters. So if you go to frontendmasters.com
Hmm?
and browse and Webpack, so you can see Sean Larkin has created courses: web performances, Webpack for fundamentals. So I think I personally learned Webpack from this course.
Okay.
Like when I was starting in February 2020, I
Mm-hmm.
had no knowledge about Webpack at all. I was aware that Webpack is something, and
Mm-hmm.
I have always afraid of Webpack. Like, what is this entry? What is this output? But
Right.
but then I started learning it from this course, and it is very well created.
Okay. So this course, is it paid course or uh, it is
I'm
free? Okay. Get unlimited access now.
I'm not sure. Like at the time, I had free access to this through
Okay. So
GitHub student developer pack.
okay. So for the students it will be free. Okay.
So it's for the students. It will be free.
Free. Nah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then I have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, mm, yes. But I believe that if you want to learn Webpack, you can also come to the guide section. So
Right.
here, yes, the guides. If you start from getting started guide,
Hmm.
just follow the guides from here, and you will know everything. So we have created these guides. So
Okay.
this is basic setup. How will you will use Webpack,
Hmm.
and then you can move to next step. which is asset management. How do you manage your assets? So if you follow these guides, if you are just starting for Webpack,
Mm-hmm.
so these guides will be helpful. And then if you have a when you have a general overview of how to write a configuration, how to include a loader, how to add a plugin, then you can move to more advanced configurations and
Okay.
concepts.
Okay, so I can just start with guides, and then once I understand the
Yes,
things, then I can go with the configuration and concept.
yes, we have also live preview of these guides.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is a, you can just click on this and all the examples and codes which is being used in this guide will be here. So you can you will not have to clone or
Yeah, exactly.
yourself.
So it will
You
save
can
some
just,
time. Yeah.
yes. So if you can also help with guide, if someone wants to contribute, like we don't have many of these examples, you
Mm-hmm.
can add these. You can add these by coming to the webpack.js.org repository, and
Mm-hmm.
here we have examples,
Mm-hmm.
and we have, like you can see here, here is the getting started guide. We have created one,
Mm-hmm.
and you can add more by sending pull requests. So the more we have, the better.
Right.
So we recently added it, like you can see 4 months ago, and
Ah,
module
okay.
federation.
Okay, so it was not there before, and then now it is
Yes,
added, so people
yes,
like me can just check it. Yeah. Okay.
yes. So
Okay.
we
Nice.
are constantly improving the documentation.
Yeah, and also I can see that you're using code server into the browser, right? To
Yes,
manipulate the data files. Yeah, it's good.
yes.
Okay.
So this is what Webpack do and how we use it,
Okay.
and
It
this is
is
how we can.
it is
Yes,
actually interesting. I learned many things there.
yes. So I think I can stop sharing my screen now.
Okay, okay. Let me stop sharing the screen. Yeah, and we are back on the screen. Yeah.
Yes. Now I can see your
Actually,
face.
Nitin, it was too many things. Actually, too many things were happening there. So
Yes,
maybe I have to watch it again one more time to see the things. But it was really informative. Like first, we dive into the Webpack configuration, then
yes,
our loaders, plugins, how they communicate, how they work. Actually, it was quite good. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Anything else you want to say about
Uh,
Webpack, about yourself, your projects, contributions?
so actually, I'm contributing to OpenSense for more than 2 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and I started with Webpack. Then I increased my contribution slowly.
Mm-hmm.
First, I increased my contribution in inside Webpack. Like first, I was only contributing to Webpack CLI. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started maintaining Webpack dev server. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started maintaining the official documentation also.
Right.
And then I thought that I should contribute to more projects. So I
Mm-hmm.
moved to Babel and ESLint.
Uh-huh.
So actually, Babel's process was very slow. Actually, there are only three maintainers for Babel, and there are a lot of PRs. So it gets very many times to review the PRs. Like I created a PR in September, and it was
Mm.
merged in March or April.
Oh, 5 6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
So so in the meantime, I started contributing to ESLint. ESLint
Mm-hmm.
has a larger team than
Mm-hmm.
Babel. So ESLint frequently reviews your code and provide feedback to your PRs.
Okay.
So
So on the Webpack, how many developers you guys are
I
maintaining
think
this?
we are 5 to 6 or 7 maintainers.
Uh,
They are more like old maintainers, so they can come anytime and review your PR. So
uh-huh.
active, majorly active 5 6 maintainers.
Majorly
Monthly,
active 5 6.
yes, yes.
Okay, so if I say like if I create one PR for Webpack and then like how much like
In
like
the
where
core
do you
Webpack,
hmm?
if you create it in core Webpack, it can take some time. There are a lot of pending PRs, and only one or two maintainers know very well about the core repository. But if
Uh-huh.
you create in Webpack CLI or documentation, documentation PR will be reviewed very soon.
Frequently, yeah. We
Yes,
can. Mm.
and Webpack Dev Server PRs will be frequently. Webpack CLI as well.
Okay.
Other yes. So these projects are frequently maintained. I
Okay.
regularly check contributors PRs, and I also regularly create PRs.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah, you were saying something.
yes, if anyone want to contribute to Webpack or ESLint, they can contact me on Twitter, or
Mm-hmm.
they can send me a mail, and
Okay.
I can walk them through the process.
Maybe you can share your Twitter handle and email as well with the people.
Yes, I go by snithin315 online. So like
Mm-hmm.
on any platform.
Mm-hmm.
So for GitHub it will be github.com snithin315, and for Twitter it will be uh @snithin315.
Okay. Okay.
And my portfolio is also snithin315.dev.
Anyways, I will just link all these links into the description.
Yes,
People can check.
here you
Yeah.
can find all the links to my LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and GitHub.
Okay. You can share it with me later, and then I will add it into
Yes.
the descriptions. Yeah. So it will
Yeah.
be much easier to click, just click there, and then go to the pages.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think we are like we planned for 1 hour, and it is one around more than.
One.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So kind of. So let's wrap it for today. Uh, Nitin, it was really nice talking with you. You are really humble and nice person,
Thank
uh,
you.
contributing to many cool projects which I can just think of. And yeah, it was good to know about what the Webpack is there. Like, what are the use cases Webpack is used for? How we can use it? How we can modify the configurations. So it was nice. Uh, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you. It was nice talking to you, and thanks for having me.
yeah. Thank you so much. So, guys, we are wrapping it for today, and let's hope next time we talk with Nitin again very soon. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.